February 17 brings a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius at 28 degrees 56 minutes. Eclipses are not fresh starts, they're edits to the storyline, often subtle at first but hard to unsee once they land. A solar eclipse is a new moon close to the lunar nodes, meaning the alignment is strong enough to amplify themes and accelerate turning points. This one is annular, so the moon doesn't fully cover the sun. The light changes shape. Symbolically, not a blackout, more like a redesign under unfamiliar lighting. And in the background on Feb 16, the sun in Aquarius squares Uranus in Taurus. A square is a 90-degree friction aspect, pressure that forces movement. Consider it the tension in the air right before the eclipse makes the edit official. In the traditional view, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn: time, structure, accountability, boundaries, durability. So this eclipse is less be different and more build something that lasts. Traditionally, eclipses have a reputation for correlating with shifts in public life, groups, institutions, leadership, and collective priorities, because they often show up around moments when systems reorient. With Aquarius, the system theme is loud. Organizations, communities, alliances, networks, and the policies that decide who belongs and how. This is Saturn in Aquarius logic. You can't build the future on a foundation you refuse to audit. Modern astrology often treats Uranus as Aquarius's ruler, the planet of disruption, awakening, and sudden course corrections. So Aquarius themes come with a spark of restlessness and truth-telling. It's autonomy, innovation, and that tight tension between belonging and freedom. Psychologically, this eclipse can feel like a cold, clean clarity. Where am I conforming to keep access? Where am I independent to avoid being truly seen? Eclipses can act like a software update. You don't necessarily get brand new desires, you get a sharper sense of what's real, what's outdated, and what costs too much to maintain. Here's what Aquarius eclipse often looks like in real life. You change your role in a community. Friends, colleagues, collaborators, online spaces. You don't need drama. You need alignment. A long-term plan becomes concrete. You stop brainstorming and start structuring. Deadlines, budgets, boundaries, tools. You see the power dynamics of a group more clearly. Who sets the tone, who gets heard, who does invisible labor, and you adjust your participation. Your tech systems get upgraded or exposed. The workflow breaks, the platform shifts, the schedule stops working. It's annoying, but it forces a better design. And emotionally, you may feel less in your feelings and more decisive. Aquarius can be detached, yes, but sometimes detachment is just clarity without panic. Collectively, Aquarius eclipses tend to spotlight the social architecture we live inside: networks, platforms, institutions, and shared norms. So the collective themes to watch are communities reorganizing around values, groups splinter, merge, or redefine membership. People get more explicit about what we're here for. Rules and governance conversations. Aquarius plus Saturn symbolism points to accountability, policies, moderation, leadership standards, and the limits of anything goes. Tech and infrastructure becoming a storyline. Aquarius rules networks. Taurus, with Uranus nearby by sign, emphasizes material stability: money, food, supply chains, the body, the baseline. This combination often correlates with cultural pressure around what's stable, what's secure, and what's too dependent on fragile systems. A quieter but important theme is collective fatigue with performance. Aquarius can be performatively different. This eclipse can push people toward authenticity that has structure, less signaling, more building. These are symbolic correlations, not guarantees. Mundane astrology is interpretive by nature. On the global stage, I'd frame this eclipse as a fixed sign pressure point. Aquarius is fixed air, systems, ideology, networks, and the supporting tension with Uranus and Taurus highlights fixed earth, resources, stability, markets, land, the body. That's the axis of ideas versus infrastructure. So globally, the themes that often cluster around this kind of signature are sudden pivots in collective narratives, news cycles flip fast, public opinion hardens, then abruptly reorganizes, network-driven events, platform changes, communications disruptions, or rapid shifts in how information spreads can become catalysts, because Aquarius is the circuitry of society. Resource reality checks. Taurus symbolism brings focus back to what sustains life: costs, supply, security, material limits. If something becomes the issue, it's often because the infrastructure can't carry the load anymore. And very literally, this eclipse is visible along a path that includes Antarctica and surrounding oceans, with partial visibility in parts of southern Africa and southern South America, among other regions. Astrologically, I don't treat visibility as only those places are affected, but it's a useful poetic reminder. This is a collective event, even if you never see the sky change. Best use is make one future-facing commitment that has structure. Saturn-ruled Aquarius loves a plan: roles, timelines, boundaries, systems. Ask, what group am I building around me by choice, not default? What system currently runs my life, and do I agree with it? What does my future self need me to stop tolerating? Common pitfall is detachment as avoidance. If you feel tempted to ghost, burn bridges, or blow it up just to feel free, pause. Make it surgical. Make it clean. Let the eclipse unfold over weeks and months instead of forcing instant certainty. This Aquarius eclipse is a rewrite of belonging and trajectory. Less default, more design. Less performance, more purpose. Now, let's make this personal. I'm going to walk through the impact by rising sign so you can pinpoint exactly where this eclipse is rewriting your life and what your best play is in that house. Aries rising, 11th house, the collective. Friends, networks, and long-range goals get an eclipse-level rewrite. The future you're building asks for better allies, clearer roles, and fewer time drains. Your best play. Do a clean audit of your communities and collaborations. Avoid loyalty by default and performative networking. Aim for aligned alliances that actually support the long game. Taurus rising, 10th house, the career. Public direction, reputation, and authority hit a turning point. This eclipse can sharpen your path fast, especially where your work meets visibility and responsibility. Your best play. Do choose the professional lane that's sustainable and specific. Avoid chasing image or reacting to external pressure. Aim for a strategy you can defend in 6 months. Gemini rising, 9th house, the meaning. Beliefs, education, publishing, and big picture plans get upgraded. Your worldview wants to match who you are now, not who you were when you picked the path. Your best play. Do commit to one learning track or message you're ready to stand for. Avoid spiraling in maybe and over-consuming information. Aim for clarity through action. Study, write, apply, or teach. Cancer rising, 8th house, the shared. Shared finances, contracts, intimacy, and trust get pressure tested. Anything vague becomes visible, especially uneven exchanges and unspoken expectations. Your best play. Do put terms, timelines, and boundaries on shared commitments. Avoid emotional overdrafting and financial ambiguity. Aim for mutual responsibility, not just intensity. Leo rising, 7th house, the mirror. Partnerships recalibrate, romantic, business, and client relationships included. The eclipse highlights what's balanced, what's performative, and what needs renegotiation. Your best play. Do name the agreement you actually want and listen for theirs. Avoid control games and silent resentment. Aim for reciprocity with clear expectations. Virgo rising, 6th house, the systems. Work, health routines, and daily logistics get an operating system update. This is about sustainability, fewer leaks, better structure, cleaner habits. Your best play. Do simplify your schedule and build repeatable routines. Avoid all-or-nothing fixes and overcommitting. Aim for consistency that supports your nervous system. Libra rising, 5th house, the spark. Creativity, romance, pleasure, and self-expression come into sharper focus. What's authentic grows. What's performative starts to feel flat. Your best play. Do create and share from a place of devotion, not validation. Avoid chasing attention or waiting for perfection. Aim for a steady creative rhythm that makes you feel alive. Scorpio rising, 4th house, the foundation. Home, family, roots, and private stability get restructured. Your external goals can't hold if the foundation is unstable or draining. Your best play. Do reinforce your home base with practical changes and clean boundaries. Avoid nostalgia that keeps you stuck. Aim for a private life that supports the future you're building. Sagittarius rising, 3rd house, the signal. Communication, learning, writing, and your daily information environment get sharpened. The eclipse wants cleaner inputs and more intentional output. Your best play. Do curate your media diet and commit to one message or skill at a time. Avoid mental clutter and reactive posting. Aim for precision. Say what you mean and build signal over noise. Capricorn rising, 2nd house, the value. Income, skills, resources, and self-worth recalibrate. What's sustainable stays, what's wishful collapses. Your relationship with stability is being rebuilt. Your best play. Do budget, simplify, and invest in skills that compound. Avoid scarcity spirals and undervaluing your labor. Aim for earnings that match your real priorities and capacity. Aquarius rising, 1st house, the identity. Identity, body, presentation, and direction get rewritten. This eclipse can mark a shift in how you show up. Less performance, more purpose. Your best play. Do make one visible choice that reflects your future self. Avoid shape-shifting for approval or disappearing to avoid reactions. Aim for a steadier self-definition that doesn't need permission. Pisces rising, 12th house, the unseen. Rest, endings, mental health, solitude, and subconscious patterns come to the surface. This eclipse can close a chapter quietly but decisively. Your best play. Do protect sleep, reduce overstimulation, and choose deliberate closure. Avoid escapism and carrying what's already complete. Aim for restoration that clears space for the next chapter. All right, that's the Aquarius Eclipse storyline and your best play, sign by sign. If you want to go deeper, check your chart for any planets or angles near 28 degrees Aquarius, give or take a few degrees. That's where the eclipse tends to land the loudest. If this helped, like and drop your rising sign in the comments, plus what house Aquarius rules for you if you know it. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Welcome to the lab.